Hi, this video is made by special request. Um, Submodality accessing cues. I took the course from Robbie back in 1992, and at the time it was called Advanced Sensory Acuity. And so I'm going to tell you the techniques that we were taught and some of the results, and so you can develop this ability on your own. So first thing you need is a partner, a good, somebody do these techniques with, these exercises with, rather, and so obviously if you're in an NLP practice group, or if you know other NLP practitioners, these are the best people to do it with because they know the score and they can they've developed their ability to visualize and maintain a visual image, and so we can calibrate and so on. Or you can just somebody you know who's, yeah, I'm interested, I'll do that, and they're a good visualizer and so on. So second of all, you need to be in uptime. And Eric called, if I remember correctly, called it an uptime trance, which is the opposite of the normal trance, which is you're having such a powerful internal experience that you lose all sense of your surroundings, the physical world around you. This is the opposite, where you're totally focused on the outside world. There's no internal dialogue, there's nothing inside your mind. You're just totally aware of the outside world. And so thing is to remember those kind of experiences, amplify the submodalities that are the drivers of that of your uptime, and anchor it. When you're there, you go say to yourself, "Time to anchor." So when you hit the anchor, you'll hear that voice going, "Time to anchor." No, so just subtly do the anchor when you feel you're in that state completely, and stack the anchors. Go into the state again, stack it. So you need to have your senses completely outward and minimal internal yakking and stuff. So that said, now we have a partner. Now we're going to go to what are the techniques. First technique, the subject person who's going to be doing the imaging, and you have one, you or somebody else, 2 observers, 3 observers. So this person, the first exercise is to have them just imagine the color red filling their whole visual field. Make it very intense, bright, vivid red. And obviously you have good lighting, and just sit and watch the person's face, particularly around just above the eyebrows here, the lower forehead, the cheekbones, upper cheekbones, and the chin. These are the main areas you're going to see this discoloration, color change. Okay, so once you start to see that, you can maybe see a bit of red there, then have them just figure something else, and then do the same thing with the color green, and then blue, and then yellow, and then green, and then black and white. You can do those, and then just cycle through the color, and then have the subject person just imagine whatever color they choose, and then you guess what it is, or calibrate, whatever word you want to use. And so yeah, so you just start to have the person doing their own colors, and you can start to see the different color changes, and you'll be able to calibrate them. Okay, and so the next exercise is using 2 colors at once. Just have the person, just like you're looking at a flag, or just a box on one side of your field is blue, the other side is yellow, for example. Okay, so have the person do blue and yellow on one side, and see if there's blue on this side of the face and yellow on this side of the face, and notice the differentiation. Okay, and this also is the ability of that person to visualize and do the action, not say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing it," and meanwhile all they have is some little dot of blue and a little will smudge it green somewhere. No, you need somebody who's good at this. And if you're good at NLP, you can tell right away if they are or not. So we'd go through the colors and same thing, have them left and right, different colors, and tell you what they are so you can calibrate and see the changes. And then have them pick their own colors. I'm going to have blue on this side, gray or yellow on that side, and see if you can guess it, okay? And then go cycle through that, and then go top to bottom. You have like maybe red on the top and green on the bottom, okay? And then blue on the top and yellow on the bottom. Okay, so you have up and down. So, and have it, panoramic, as much as possible, okay? The more intense and panoramic, the more you're going to see it on the face. So those are little suggestions I give you. Okay, now let's go to shapes. Okay, now seeing shapes. Have the person just sit and visualize a solid, a triangle with a black border, just a clear triangle, okay? Like a couple of feet out in front of them, a nice solid triangle, okay? And then have them do the same thing with a circle and then a square, okay? And then to go again to go through it and see and calibrate if they're visualizing a square or a circle. Now this is where it gets kind of weird, okay? And I don't know if, like and people seem to be able to see the shape on the face, a triangle or a circle, okay? They seem to form on the face. However, I seem to get, and other people too, I think simultaneously you're seeing the actual image out in front of them. I'm not saying you're literally seeing it. You're hallucinating it based on the data you're getting from their face. So it prompts you to, by the focus of their eyes and so on, you're being able to see where it is in their visual field, the size of it, and so on. So then we get into changing location. So you have the person visualize the triangle like further away or closer, okay? And then you calibrate those things, and this is common in NLP now. This isn't something just specific to this training. The focus of the eyes. People are like, oh, and that's a big picture, or looking like this. It's looking at a little picture, right? So then you can start to calibrate it, whether it's a circle or a square or a triangle, and where it is, and then increasing the size of it. And then having a circle on one side, and another exercise, going on to another exercise, have a circle on one side, a square on the other. And then have a triangle on the top and a circle on the bottom. Okay, and calibrate which ones are seeing. Okay. Let's see. Blinking. So when you ask somebody a question and they start blinking, if they blink a few times before they answer, they blinked like 3 times. That's 3 separate pictures they saw in their mind. And the blinking was a process of shifting from one picture to the other. So people, you want to be curious about how people make decisions, how many different images and sets of criteria they go through, depending on an indication of that would be how many times they blink when they are asked these questions. Okay. Oh, yes. So the idea of in mental space psychology and in design human engineering and NLP, there's the idea that people represent their internal world outside of themselves. So people will see, images, their beliefs. I used to believe this. Now I believe this. So we sort our brain in a 3-dimensional imagery outside of our body. We live in a 3-dimensional world. Maybe this is how this evolved, came about to be. But I remember Bandler in the DHE training talking about looking at a person and just getting an instant snapshot and looking at them in uptime and in this, look at them in sort of a peripheral. You don't look directly at the person, just sort of off their face so you can see the peripheral and get the whole picture of it. And he talked about looking at a person and just getting a snapshot of, because their beliefs, values, and memories, metaprograms, timelines, and all that are all in the external world, is just have a snapshot and see it all simultaneously. And then go on and just to see that and then just calibrate. Don't go, well, is your beliefs this big and bright and the yellow border? Yeah, now that you mention it. Be precise in your language so you're not giving hypnotic suggestions rather than eliciting. So, and good NLPers know the difference between that. What happens doing these techniques is that, like Robbie had the ability, and I'm just saying what I saw, and there were people that were kind of actually shocked, they're like shocked and stunned that he could read them so well, and saying, you've got this memory over here, right, you're down to your right there, and you got this that you keep thinking about it, and you got this black cloud over your head here, and your timeline shifts there and into there, and they're like, how do you know that? Like, people were just stunned. Like, he could come up and actually he could guess, I use the word quote unquote guess, at the actual content of pictures. People would say, oh, you're looking out on the ocean and the sun's going down or something. And how'd you know that? Because he has such sensory acuity developed that because the way the pictures are and the images, you can get a sense of what they're actually thinking about or looking at. Metaprograms. I don't know if maybe people know this already. Metaprogram cues. When you see a couple sitting together in a restaurant, for example, and they're doing this you-me thing, the you-me set, they're talking about people. I did this, and then she did that, and then that guy did this, and he did this, and blah, blah, blah. It's this pointing back and forth you-me thing. So that's when people are sorting for people or thinking about people. Places, when people are talking about places, that's the chop thing. And we started here and we went there, and then we had to wait around, and then we had to come back and do that, but then we left again, and then we went off to there, and it's this sort of chop kind of thing, right? And when people are talking about things, they have that grasping, and they're holding something in their hand. Yeah, I bought this new watch, and it's like I was opening it up, and they're talking about, it's this grasping, holding things. People are talking about activities they're involved in, then they're going to be very animated and stalking around and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so this kind of thing. Places, I don't know what else. That's the thing, there's a lot of controversy, not a lot of controversy, there's some controversy like in everything in NLP. People say that it's just projection and so on, and I don't know, I don't think so. Just my experience of, spending 3 days or 2.5 days just doing these exercises constantly with a number of different people, and you just start to, everybody in the class was being able to calibrate very adeptly. Is there a word? Adeptly. Well, it is now. And being able to see their what color it was, where they. So it didn't seem to take anything long. It's just something that nobody's really developed before. And on Robbie, he's definitely not like a charlatan type guy who's out trying to toot his horn and make himself into a guru. Quite the opposite. He keeps a very low profile, and He was sort of asked to become an NLP trainer. He didn't really have any ambitions to be one, and he was just sort of dragged into it because he figured this stuff out, and he just started getting more and more requests to do trainings, and they paid him well, and okay, I'll do it. So anyway, hi Eric, how you doing? Okay, like comment section below if you got things to add. I'm sure there is. Beefs, complaints, stuff. Talk to someone else. Okay, thanks.